welcome you to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin for SCCA Trans Am racing on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bob Jenkins along with Larry Newber. This is race number 8 in the Trans Am series this year. All different varieties of cars competing, including Mercures. We have Porsches and we have even Olds Toronados. And throughout the year, Larry, SCCA has tried to create parity within this division.
Bob, they have tried to do so, and I guess depending on which side of the fence you're standing on, the rules have either been unstable or dynamic. That is to say that they have changed a lot this year. The Mercures are still the strongest team. They have won all but one of the races, and at least the other competitors can see that SCCA is trying to even things up, and they go to each race with at least new thoughts that, well, maybe we'll be a little closer this time. Now, qualifying this weekend, the Mercures are still on top, has produced, however, its own set of rarities.
And with a couple of driver stories, let's go to our pit reporter for the day, Gary Lee.
Thank you, Bob. Larry, good afternoon. In Trans Am competition, the first 5 starting positions are locked in after qualifying on Friday. But yesterday's session was wet, so this morning's session was much faster. And the fastest driver in the field right now appears to be Paul Newman, but he can start no better than 6th. And a very interesting story is back here at the back of the pack. The only other driver to crack victory lane this year besides a Mercure driver is Elliott Forbes Robinson in this Porsche. Now, technically, he should be up toward the front of the pack. However, the car was found to be 6 pounds underweight. Consequently, his run was disqualified. He is starting all the way back here in 35th and last position. So, Bob, it should be interesting to watch the progress of car number 11 with EFR from the back of the pack.
He's, of course, driving the Olivetti Porsche 944. And here's a starting lineup for this 100-mile race. On the front row will be Scott Pruitt in car number 2, his teammate Pete Halsmer alongside in number 3. In row number 2, Paul Gentilossi in number 81, that's a Tornado, and Jerry Thompson in car 77, a Beretta. In row number 3 will be Dick Danielson driving car number 65, a Somerset, alongside Paul Newman in number 33, that's a Nissan 300ZX. The 4th row, number 8, Les Lindley, and 42, Bruce Jenner. Going to row number 5, it's Irv Hare in 71 and Jim DeHaag in 40. In row number 6, Deborah Gregg will drive car number 4 and Bill Doyle, 53. In the 7th row, Bruce Nesbitt in number 50 and Jim Fitzgerald in car number 38. In row number 8, car 13, Gary Fouch and 99, Mark Peelsticker. In the 9th row, Larry Park in car 79 and Rick Dittman in 24. The 10th row consists of Dwayne Smith and Bob Sobey. In row number 11, it'll be Russ Newman and Jerry Clinton. In row number 12, Craig Schaefer and Michael Kehoe. Going in row number 13 will be Del Russo Taylor and Breach Kaufman. In the 14th row, Donald Sack and Tim Taylor. Row number 15 consists of John Schneider and Chip Boatwright. In the 16th row will be Ron Deppert and Jerry Dunbar. Row number 17 consists of Philip Bartelt and Jim Kidd, and all alone in row number 18 will be Elliott Forbes Robinson in the number 11 Porsche 944. So we'll be back with the start of our 100-mile Trans Am race from Road America and Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, right after these messages. America getting set for a 100-mile, 25-lap Trans Am race. And this is a very interesting race course. It's 4 miles in length, and besides that, it has 14 corners, each very distinctive. Larry?
Well, Bob, there are actually 14 turns as we traditionally know Elkhart Lake, but actually there are only 11. We classify these turns based on the corner worker station number. The long front stretch, this is the second half of the 3/4 mile front stretch. You're going uphill here. You're approaching a hard right-hander. That's turn number 1. Turn number 1, believe it or not, there's turn 2. It's corner worker station 2 classified there. Around turn number 3 near the Corvette Corral. Then the drivers approach one of the downhill sections of the racetrack. They are going past what is known as the speed trap as they head for the bottom of the hill, turn 5, a hard left-hander, one of the hardest braking points on the track. Back uphill underneath the Nissan Bridge, or the old Corvette Bridge for you people who have been coming here to Road America for the last 20 years. And then to a series of S-turns, turns 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The crews tell us that is perhaps the most critical point on this racetrack because there's a lot of rapid accelerations or rapid deceleration. You have to move around the carousel. You're headed toward the kink, the fastest part of the racetrack. The speeds of the Trans Am cars will reach about 170 miles per hour before braking hard for a right-hander, turn 12, the Canada corner. Downhill here again, underneath the Billy Mitchell Bridge, turn 13, turn 14, the slowest point on the racetrack, and back uphill toward the start-finish line, a 3/4 mile stretch.
And the cars are now moving through turns 12 and 13. We'll be approaching the final corner of the course and then hopefully onto the straightaway to get a green flag. It wasn't until just a few minutes ago when the cars gridded here on the main stretch in front of us that we knew whether or not Paul Newman was going to be in this race. He had a crash earlier in the day, and they did get the car repaired in time, and he'll be starting from his assigned position in the 6th spot outside of row number 3. So we'll keep an eye on Paul Newman as he qualified at 106.94, and that is the fastest, but because they're using 2 qualifying sessions here, one from yesterday and one from today, he will start back in 6th.
A marvelous variety of manufacturers. 11 others, I'll call them others, will take the Lincoln Mercury Mare Curves to task. That is the goal in Trans Am racing, at least in 1987. How can anybody beat the Mare Curves?
Field moving through the final corner, you can see